What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit. I can't say my name. And I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. It all comes down to this. 2 months of competition. Many games being played. And a best of one remaining to crown the victor of the competitive mega random $1,000 tournament. Eternal glory at the grasp for the victor of this game. Spawning on the top of the map. Needs no introduction, but he's been playing a hell of a tournament. His name is Ulysses and he is playing Hades. His opponent today in the red color playing as a Zeus. Equally needing no introduction. His name is Joe. We've got ourselves another water map here. This one, the circular water map. Joe scouting. Wait, who scouted the water on the side? Joe does scout the water on the side. Ulysses has also scouted the water on the side. So both players know that there's fish over there. Question is, how do you play this one? We've got aggressive water in the middle. We've kind of got safe water on the side. What do? These guys' brains are fried. They've played 8 games. Each game has gone basically longer than 20 minutes. Anything can happen here in game number 9. And we'll see how it's going to go. Well, we do see the 7 villagers going to wood here for Joe, so he's going for a bit of a boom. Same too. It looks like Ulysses is going to be doing the same thing. We do see the Katoskos coming over here. There is a cheeky bear causing a little bit of strife as the goat's going to be coming back here. More fishing ship getting built out for Joe. There are, let's just take a quick count of fish in the middle of the map. We've got ourselves 3, 6, 9, 12 fish a player in the middle. And the sides do have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 fish. So, plenty of fish to go around in 3 different ponds. So if you want to win the water completely and have a serious advantage, you got to win all the different sides of the water. That's what you need to do. Alternatively, you can just say it's a boom game. We're just going to boom. We'll see how that goes. Joe pumping ahead. He's only going 7 villagers on wood, whereas Ulysses is only going 6 villagers on wood. So, I mean, the question, it's a good question. Like, what do you do here? Like, if it was me and I saw this map, I can tell you for certain I would be going for a 5-15 build. I would be going for my close fish over here. I'd be going for 9 fish in the middle and trying to go for like 9 to 18 fish on the side. And if my opponent tries to blow me off the middle of the water, I just cast ceasefire and I allow him to, because I know that I've got enough resources to do whatever I want over on the side of the map. And we're good to go. So, but these guys are seemingly both looking like they want to fight in the middle of the water here, as Ulysses scouts how much fish is over here, and we'll see how this is going to be going as the game continues. We're just moving over here onto this medium gold mine. Finishing up, we see Athena for both players. Ulysses with 8 fishing ships, Joe with 9. And more docks coming up in the middle of the map. We've got ourselves with the villagers swapping onto multiple different wood lines over here. Here we see the gold mine getting grabbed here for Joe. The dock going to be coming up here as well, as these fishing ships scouting around just a little bit to see how it's all going to happen. Ulysses drops a dock over here. I wouldn't be surprised if Ulysses just drops a dock over here as well and starts fishing a little bit later on that top side. But, I mean, it really does look like a pretty hardcore water fight's going to be ensuing here. There's hand axe coming through for Ulysses as well. Hand axe coming through a little bit later for Joe, as he's slightly behind the 8 ball on that one, but it doesn't matter that much. Plenty of wood in the bank for Joe, so he can drop a dock down elsewhere. As you see the immediate trireme queuing up for Joe. He wants to get aggressive fast to get the damage done quickly. Ulysses getting pushed back here. There's this dock under attack. Going to be getting his trireme out to defend both of these docks as well. And the fighting just about to ensue here. Or it's not. Or they can just sit back. I mean, if it's anything like Mediterranean, you just play defensively. If you the person who is aggressive on water, it tends to be the person who ends up losing. That's kind of the bread and butter of the water maps. There's the trireme pulling back here. See the Minotaur finishing up over here. The Katoskopos coming around as well, looking for whatever he wants to look for. And now the fishing ship getting grabbed back into that dock there, jumping back out. All of the good stuff going on there. And the game continues. We do see the fishing ships getting dropped in, popped back out, dropped in. Now, Joe swinging around this way as well, looking for some way to find an advantage. 7 trireme versus 8 trireme here. We see the bolt getting dropped down as Joe says, time to go. And then he says, okay, not time to go. I'm running away. I'm a little bit scared. A little bit scared over here as well. I take down these fishing ships. Ulysses not paying attention over here. Making some brutal amounts of damage. Kind of, not really. As the game continues slowly, more houses getting dropped for Joe. He's kind of forgetting just a little bit. Ulysses, on the other hand, doing completely fine. No housing crisis. The fishing ship over here getting pushed back as Joe might be the first to lose a unit here. Ulysses almost drawing first blood. I mean, I guess the bolt counts as first blood. As Ulysses pulls back. Thank you so much for the tier 1. I want to say that's Sergeant Quampy. SGT Quampy. Thank you so much, my friend, for the support. As the trireme pushing in. And Ulysses says, I just have to pull back. Oh, he's decided to fight here. He does have a dock here to help out. How are the numbers looking? 14 versus 15. So a very, very even fight here. But with the dock help, it's going to be very close. We see restoration coming through. Both players using restoration at the same time here. Makes a lot of sense to use restoration second. But we are going to be seeing Joe having to retreat back here. As Ulysses is going to be pushing in. And we see a fishing ship that are very, very aggressively placed to getting pushed back. Still neither player going to be going for their top fish just yet. Lots of wood in the bank for both players. Lots of resources getting gathered here. Lots of wood over here and here. Only 7 or 8 villagers on gold a piece here is kind of the standards. We see the Minotaurs saying g'day to each other. Whoop, one. Who wins this one? Looks like the Ulysses Minotaur comes out with the advantage here. Just slightly. Ooh, even bigger than slightly. He gets another special ability off there. And Joe needs to get out his chasing to deal with this one. As he's getting pushed back yet again. Just mass ships in this game thus far. As they both realize how important this middle water is. It's important because the town centers are both in range of the water for siege ships. But that's not something you have to worry about that much in the Greek mirror, because you can just make Heliopoli to control these shores and defend yourself. So it is what it is, but these guys are fairly gung-ho about holding on to it all here as the archer ships are just going to be charging into each other. Ulysses got 22 triremes here. We've got ourselves 21 triremes for Joe, so they've both got plenty of units here. You see them turning around, trying to take out these triremes as best as they can. Nice marker there from Ulysses, but Joe controlling his ships nicely as well here. As we see Ulysses trying to push his ships forward, so the ships in the back get some damage done. As it's a bit of a choke point here with this many trireme. And so kind of continuing to pull back, and Ulysses finding a little bit of an opening here, I would say, but it's still very, very close in terms of trireme numbers, and you kind of have no idea how you're doing until the fight ends up. These ships in the back here, if Ulysses not fighting, are going to be costing him big here. As Joe's now got 400 wood in the bank. If I even in this position, if I hadn't scouted this water, I would still now, if I just scouted the water now, I would send my villagers over there and start building fishing ships there, because it's such a cheap amount of resources for extra villagers, and it's so good. As the trireme pulling back, Ulysses making his way in here to try and take down more trireme. And with Ulysses on a second gold mine here, he's trying to make this work. Looking to maybe get himself a second town center at the top of the map. And we see the Joe boats trying to push in here yet again, as it's looking like I still can't tell you who's ahead right now, but it looks like potentially Ulysses's low HP trireme are all falling here, and that's giving Joe a bit of an advantage. Another dock coming up over here for Ulysses, as he's like, well, maybe I need another one just to hold up. Now we see a wall coming up here for Joe to make the map a little bit more claustrophobic or blocked off. But you can build a dock here and get a transport ship to bypass those kind of things. So not that big of an issue. As now we're going to be seeing Joe going for a town center over here, whereas Ulysses not going to be doing that one just yet. As now Joe retreating back, we see Ulysses pushing in here. Joe's got himself 27 trireme here. Clearly an advantage in the trireme numbers for Joe, as Ulysses comes through here himself. And we'll see what Ulysses is going to try and do here, as he's continuing the fight, but town center advantage for Joe is going to be coming up, and Ulysses is going to be falling behind on the village account. He doesn't have the resources to get himself a second town center just yet. He's actually losing on... Oh, is he losing 15 versus 14? Still very close here. Nice micro there from Joe to pull back. See on the dock. Why would you put a dock here and build fishing ship here when you could do the over here on the same... I'm so confused. Whatever. Dock's getting garrisoned in. You see Ulysses pushing back in yet again, as Joe's got 12 trireme here. Ulysses got 15 trireme on the front here as well, as he's going to be pulling back. And now 2 town centers for Joe. And Ulysses has to decide what he wants to do here, as he's going to be getting very aggressive on the water, but I feel like he has to push through 2 docks and two docks of dock fire and all the trireme as well. So it's going to be a tough one to really make that work here, it would seem. Joe's getting the damage done. Again, these ships in the back just don't do all too much. So you kind of have a little bit of a 300-esque type fight on the water here, where you don't actually need to have as many ships as your opponent does. You just need to be replacing the ones that can fire versus the ones that can't, in a way here. But Joe currently, he's not building villages from this second town center, so he's not getting an advantage for having said second town center. But looks like Joe's attempting to get through to the next age. Might be going through Dionysus here to try and win back this water, as it seems like Ulysses is making some decent ground here, as we are still seeing trireme getting built for Joe, but Ulysses is winning this water just a little bit right now. As he's pushing through, and all of Joe's trireme do end up falling. We see some barracks coming down, archery range coming down for Joe as well. As you see the gold villages coming through here. And maybe Joe's just going to go kind of all in this classical age. You've got a lot of resources in the bank. If he'd had like 5 military buildings up now, he could spend all those resources and put tons of pressure onto Ulysses. Now, Ulysses is Hades, so it's a bit of a different story. We're seeing docks now coming down into this position as finally Ulysses decides to do that. At least someone has. There's more triremes coming in here. We see the ships coming forward or back for Ulysses, looking for someone else to do, as the hoplites coming in, and now it looks like Ulysses will be spotting these military buildings, and that gives away a lot about what's happening now in this game, as the hoplite going to be moving forward to try and kill off the villagers here, but docks coming up over here, stable coming up for Ulysses. No military buildings in the main base. You see the town center coming down for Ulysses, as Joe still hasn't started villages on this town center. So it's been a hot couple of minutes. Joe's had an advantage, and no villages from the town center means no advantage at all for getting that town center earlier. So we see the Katoskos coming forward here, going to check out this location. The dock is up, and probably some fishing ships going to be coming out of there as well. As the Sentinels pushing back here, the hoplite does end up losing its life as the fishing boats come out of the dock there, trying to make it back to safety. A third town center going to be coming up for Joe. He didn't manage to get that wall up over on this side, as Ulysses is pushing through here nicely. You see the Jason coming forward to start slicing and dicing this Hippocon here. As this town center is desperately wanting to come up. Ulysses getting himself purse seen right now, as the fishing ship starting to come through on this position to give him even more of an economic boost here. Ulysses pushing through with his villagers to deny this town center. We don't have ceasefire here because it was Athena. Restoration was used. The villagers pulling back off of this location. All the hoplites at the top here for Joe. Very much out of position, but Joe is now through Apollo. So where to go for his underworld is the big question. As we see the boats coming through for Joe, he's going to be taking down these trireme nicely. There's really no reason for Ulysses to fight this anymore now that he's over on this water. He can just rebuild those fishing ships. And we do see that this town center is getting grabbed by Ulysses, as he wants to have the control of this map nicely. We see the Manticore taking down some of these Toxotes nicely. The Chiron going to be coming in to take down the Manticore as well. As it's currently out of position, we see some military buildings coming down for Joe right on the front here. As this map might be getting split down in a bit of a different way here, as Ulysses says, I want this town center and I want it now. Meanwhile, Joe's like, well, maybe Mythic Age? 2 town center, Mythic Age, Underworld? Might be an option here. We see the units pushing in, but they're not going to be able to stay alive against the Toxotes and Hippocon, as Aphrodite now coming through for Ulysses. Persine coming through for Joe as well. As the Trireme going to be swinging around here, going after these docks. But Ulysses can just get some more fishing ships out of that location. We see the hoplites try and take those guys down. Ulysses retreats back, and he's now getting 4 town centers. He's going through with Aphrodite. He's got his 4 town centers. Joe's not controlled this at all well, but he does have the possibility of fitting an underworld timing here somewhere. Now the villagers pulling back over here, and the archery rangers coming down. 12 hoplites here for Joe. So it does kind of look like Joe is going for something here, something spicy. He doesn't have any upgrades though for his hoplites, and he doesn't have any real way of getting line of sight. I guess he can send the trireme forward, see where he can go, but the curse is going to get dropped on these units if he decides to go somewhere. As some more archery rangers coming through here. Do we have a market somewhere for Joe? I don't see the market. Where could he put it? No market just yet. Can't actually afford it. Now Ulysses' army pushing in. There is this one gold mine left up here for Joe. He does have this gold mine technically here, but it's very close to this town center. Ulysses is trying to poke his head in. Ulysses at 142 of 160 population. It's a world tier where Ulysses gets to the Mythic Age before Joe does, because Joe still doesn't have a market. Oh, there he does. There it is. And we are seeing Hephaestus as they got a choice. Medium infantry come through for Joe. As he's probably going to have to delete these triremes somewhat. We do see Katoskopos over here as well, as this might be the place to underworld. Let's see if that's what's going to happen here. As these hoplites are sneaking around, we see a Ford Temple coming down for Ulysses as well, potentially for Ford Chimera. Ulysses can go through Artemis here as well to make life even harder for Joe. As the hoplites do come over here and protect these villages just a little bit. As a fortress going to get dropped, definitely the idea of making some Heliopolis to go with this underworld is going to be really, really key. But while this is going on, Ulysses is able to advance through Artemis. He cuts population completely here, or supply, and he's able to advance really, really quick. This is what allows Ulysses to kind of make this work a lot better than a lot of other players. If normally when players go for town centers, they try and get full population with those town centers, but Ulysses a lot of the time just says, "No, I'm going to cut population early and try and advance." As the fortress will end up coming up here, Kurtz gets dropped down, and Joe now needs to reproduce those units as best as he possibly can. Maybe he doesn't need to because he wants to get some Colossus out or some Heliopolis out. We'll see what he's going to choose to do as we see some docks coming up on the side here. On the dock over here for Ulysses. He's got 22 fishing ships right now, but a lot of them are sitting idle in this one dock here. As now there's the Hephaestus through for Joe as the Plentyfold gets dropped down. Ulysses has map control. Ulysses just about to hit the Mythic Age. Where's the Katoskopos? Looks like the Katoskopos was kind of taken out here. As Joe now getting naval ox abilities. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense here. Naval ox abilities, you can take out this location, you can take out this location with those siege ships. So that's what he's going to go for. And I think Ulysses has kind of got an inkling this is going on. And he makes a Petropolis here. Petropolis is actually really good at taking down ships. But Artemis is going to get dropped probably on the main base. And Joe doesn't have ceasefire anymore, does he? Or because it would not anymore. He doesn't have ceasefire at all because he went through Athena. As the unit's wandering forward, this gold mine here has got 687 gold left in it. So Earthquake here, push here. And then no gold remaining. He's got villages over here as well. He could wall this off as well. There's the Earthquake getting dropped. Wow, that did nothing. I mean, he picked off all the houses. So Joe drops down to 130 of 50 population here, which is a big deal. But the town center is still alive. And that's without masons and fortified town centers here. As the Heliopoli coming through for Ulysses, and I imagine Oxy Juggernauts are on the way now for Joe, but he has been slowed down quite a bit here, losing all those houses. Do we see any docks over here making Oxy Juggernauts? Yes, but they can't afford them. So now the Petropolis going to take out this fortress as best as he can. The Heliopoli are going to be rolling in here as well. The Sentry Tower on the way. We see the Chimera moving forward here as the Petropolis wants to roll in and get this done. And you see the Chimera getting that good damage done in there as well. The villagers mining the gold as best as they possibly can. But Joe's going to lose out on this gold mine very, very shortly here. As you said, Colossus roaming around killing off these docks nicely, but this fortress is gonna be down, and then the gold mine's gone, and there's no gold left, and Joe's got no trade caravan started. Does he have a market in the corner? Not just yet, but the gold is gone, and how much he's got 1,800 gold in the bank though, so I mean that's what he's got. Does he have any attempt at an underworld here? Not really. He's not produced any units out of his docks just yet. No Juggernauts. Juggernauts going after this town center though. Will Ulysses pay attention? Is he making Peticondas? Yes, he is. He's going to come in and take these Oxy Juggernauts down as fast as he possibly can to keep himself alive in this game. The town center gets repaired back up. It's not a lot of units, but he's got a handful of units in his base here. As now Ulysses is going to be rolling here into Joe's base with his siege, seeing what he can do. Pentaconda coming over here to take down these Juggernauts, fortified town centers with masons. Handful of triremes over here as well. We do have the triremes over here for Joe. He's going to be sending them over here immediately to try and defend his Juggernauts. Juggernauts going to be retreating away. Champion infantry coming through now for Joe, as a fortress going to be coming up as well. But the Heliopoli are going to be taking down these buildings very, very fast here, as the Toxotes can help take out the melee units beautifully, and the archery range does go down. Now the main town center is going to be the aim for Ulysses as this game is continuing. We do see some hoplites over on this position here, but right now the pressure is mounting, and Joe can't really just leave his main base with 3 Heliopolis and a Petropolis targeting him down here as the siege ships do get taken down nicely. Now you see the Bellerophon coming in to hit the Heliopolis as best as it possibly can, but the hometown center is on the way down as Bellerophon has got his eyes set on the Petropolis here. Come in and shank this down in just a handful of shots, but it seems to me that this town center falls way too fast for Joe as it does go down, and the Heliopolis is continuing to move through in this base. The fortress going to be going down as well to boot as villagers getting pulled over here as well. We see the Oxy Juggernaut still trying to hold on in here to take down this town center, but it's just not going to be happening fast enough at all as the Bellerophon gets micro back. Joe going to try and get this town center back up for himself. The fortress is sitting here at 170 HP as the Toxoid is getting targeted down. We see the Bellerophon jumping in, does manage to get that special ability to connect there onto the Chimera as it retreats back here. Now we got Ulysses pushing in with side buildings over here. The more units getting taken out. Ulysses also got himself a Petropolis on this position to take down any siege that are coming in. The town center going to be attempting to get rebuilt over here for the time being as the Chimera can just swing in and burn these villages alive here, and that's exactly what they're going to be attempting to do. Bellerophon tries to jump in and hit those Chimera there, but not able to actually connect with that one as the Chimera are moving. It does get pulled back. The town center is on the way yet again. We see an underworld getting dropped by Joe, and is he going to be able to do anything with it? He's going to be moving in, dropping a whole bunch of military academies, some watchtowers here as well onto the trade route. Joe's got no gold left in the bank right now. 105 of 130 population. Going to be selling himself wood and gold here. 30 gold for 100 food. 47 gold for 100 wood right now. The town center does manage to come back up as Ulysses is going to be kicking himself for allowing that one. Meanwhile, towers over here are going to be a bit of a problem as now we see more naval ships coming over here to take down this town center. One Oxy Juggernaut. Not really enough here, but it's going to be if Ulysses doesn't do anything about it. As we see the Heliopoli coming back in onto this position to take this town center down yet again. As the towers are now up on Ulysses' trade route, but he's got gold mine here, he's got gold mine here. He can build a market over here, which he is doing. Delete the market that's on this corner over here, and then his trade route is going to self-fix itself in a big way here. There's another Heliopoli coming in. See Sentry Towers getting dropped on the front, but Ulysses doesn't yet have himself watchtower, so it doesn't really help him all too much. Joe's sitting at 106 or 130 population with no gold left in the bank, just thinking about every single option right now that you could potentially pull here to find a way back in this game. And the town center does end up going down, and now Joe's down to one town center. Nothing really remaining. This town center also very low HP as well, as the Petropolis has been trying to take it down. More towers coming up for Ulysses. His watchtowers is finally starting to get researched. The houses going down on this position as well. The Oxy Juggernaut still going after this town center, but taking a very long time to take it out. As the units still pushing in, and Ulysses sees victory within his grasp here. Iron Mail also researching. Villagers going to be moving in to grab this town center, and in that moment, Joe taps out. GG. Ulysses gets the win. Wins the series in 9 games here. 5 games to 4 with an incredibly clutch defense in the previous game, which could have gone Joe's way. An incredibly intelligent way to play this game, this game as well. Not overcommitting too much on the middle water, grabbing the top water as well, grabbing the 4 town centers, catching Joe out on this town center. Joe not able to make his underworld really do anything in this game, and Ulysses just comes away with it just barely by the skin of his teeth. The first victor of the first competitive Mega Random tournament. I don't know what else to say. Congratulations to Ulysses. Congratulations to Joe. Congratulations to Momo and Hagrid as well for the 3rd and 4th place matches. If you guys enjoyed these games, I will be sending out a sort of questionnaire over Discord to put some input into the competitive mega random to see what people liked and what people didn't like over the next week or so. So definitely join up on the Discord and check that one out. And if you're not following or you're not subscribed, do consider doing that. Every bit helps. And guys, I'll see you guys in the next game, in the next series, in the next tournament. It's been maybe about 2 months since I've actually played a game of Age of Mythology, so I'm looking forward to streaming some games in the next couple of weeks. And I'll see you guys in the near future. Bye.